Hello everybody, this is Christopher Peterson, your instructor for today. Today, we're going to focus on, in this movie, all you need to know about the VoiceThread discussion assignment. This presentation will go through all the ins and outs of the assignment itself, what to expect every single week from it, and how to effectively and successfully complete it. It also goes over how to register for the VoiceThread discussion, as well as how to access each weekly VoiceThread discussion, so that after watching this video you will truly be able to effectively complete every VoiceThread discussion throughout this entire course. So without further ado, let's do an overview of each section. Of course, the first question is, what exactly is a VoiceThread discussion? The second section will of course be focusing upon accessing the VoiceThread discussion, namely including registration as well as the each and every single individual weekly VoiceThread discussion. Also, after accessing the VoiceThread, we will then go on to the section of how do you complete the assignment on the actual VoiceThread screen for our course, where I will show you the various acceptable methods for contributing to the VoiceThread discussion. Finally, we will go over the final section, namely, is there anything else I need to know? This will go over the specific rules that apply to the VoiceThread discussion and the suggestions based upon the rules. So again, let's begin. What exactly is the VoiceThread discussion? Well, it is designed to be a simulation of an in-class discussion. The reason for this is that in-class discussions constantly have immediate back and forth of knowledge from multiple people pertaining to a specific topic. This continual redigestion of knowledge from different perspectives ultimately benefits the class from the whole because they gain a greater understanding of the subject itself. It also was designed so the class goes over how a specific philosopher affected human civilization and knowledge. Once again, further increasing our understanding, knowledge, and retention of philosophy. So in order to complete the VoiceThread assignment, you first of all are going to need knowledge of the reading and both mind map discussion threads. Again, this is why I wanted the mind map discussions to be completed before the VoiceThread discussion could even be accessed. The reason, of course, being that we've already thought about this topic in two different ways over and over and over again, along with the knowledge of the philosophers that we focused on in our weekly readings. You're also going to need a little creativity, and of course you will certainly need the ability to access the VoiceThread itself. So of course, to access the VoiceThread, you need to have a registered VoiceThread.com account. Thus, you will need to know the following URL. Finally, you'll need to be able to click upon the weekly VoiceThread URL located within each of our weekly modules. So to begin with, we're going to see how you create your own VoiceThread account so that you can participate in our weekly VoiceThread discussions. The first thing you're going to do is type in this URL within your web browser. https://voicethread voicethread.com/register/ and hit enter. This of course will take you to the registration page, and as you can see, all you need to do is you have several lines to fill: your first name, your last name, your email, re-enter your email, and then of course your password, and then you have to re-enter your password. And then finally you have to go to the RE CAPTCHA thing, push the little box so that you confirm you're not a robot, and then finally click the register button. When you do this, you will have your own VoiceThread account that you can access by going into the sign-in area. And of course that is at https://voicethread.com/login/ where you will put in both your email and your password to once again access your VoiceThread. What you'll need to do next, of course, is then go to the module which we're currently focusing on, specifically the VoiceThread discussion section. In this case, it is the Week 2 VoiceThread discussion module. If you go there, you will notice that there is a VoiceThread discussion link. After you've registered, all you have to do is click it, and you now have access to that week's VoiceThread discussion. So, as you can see, the front page of our VoiceThread has a movie. I've created it, and as you can see, this is the Week 2 one. And this particular page is impressive because this is going to be the only page for our entire discussion. This video will go first. And so what you can do, of course, is that you can either pause it or you can hit play. And then essentially you will listen to it. And the thing about a VoiceThread is that once it comes to the end of something, the next person, either their video, sound, or even text-based message, will then begin to appear on the screen afterwards. So all you have to do is continue watching all the way to the end, no matter when or where you jump into the conversation, to get a full understanding of what is happening within the course. So this leads into our next section, namely how do you actually respond to the VoiceThread discussion to complete your assignment. As you can see, there is a small comment section down here, or a plus sign. This is the how to make a comment section. If you click on it, it opens up, and there's a couple ways to make your response. The first, of course, is to type a text comment. You also may make a comment using your phone. There also is the ability to actually use your personal audio recorder on your computer to record an audio comment. You can even do a video recording. And you even can, in the end, upload a comment, such as if you make it on a document or a PDF or something like that, even a picture. All of those things you can hypothetically use to put up to your VoiceThread discussion and thus contribute to it. Yeah, so that is really all that you have to do, is that you need to just put a comment that is understandable. It has to have at least some sort of text or verbal component to it. And that's all you need to do in order to complete the assignment. You'll only have to make an answer and one response to another student. Finally, there is the section, is there anything else that I need to know? And there actually are some specific rules that help keep the discussion continually flowing. To begin with, there is the rule of 3. This rule explicitly states that only the first 3 responses to any student's VoiceThread answer or any other individual person's VoiceThread response, includes the instructor responses as well, will be counted as a student response. First come, first served. In short, there can only be up to 3 responses per each student answer or response that will be considered, that will be given credit. Now, an individual person does include both the student and the instructor. This is very important because I'll not only be serving a specific purpose of trying to keep the discussion on task, but I will also be serving a specific purpose by making sure that the conversation keeps going. So just remember that my responses do count towards that total, and take that into consideration before you make a response to another student's answer or response. Rule number 2 is called junk responses equals 0 credit. A junk response is essentially a response with little to no relevance or complexity, essentially one which clearly would receive little to no credit on the VoiceThread discussion rubric. Now what you need to remember is that if there are 3 or more junk responses from the same person, I will presume that it's an attempt at that person to effectively sabotage the other classmate's ability to complete the assignment. After all, if the student chimes in and starts saying really crazy nonsense words like, I have a hat on Tuesday, that has absolutely no relevance to the actual question itself, and continually does that, according to these rules, the other students won't be able to complete their assignment. Therefore, if for any reason, regardless of it, a student has 3 or more responses that have little to no complexity and will clearly not receive a good grade on this assignment in the rubric, I will presume that that student is trying to sabotage the other students. And as a result, they will receive no credit on the response and answer. So even if they did an effective answer, they would still not get credit on the second one. You should also know that if I find or identify anything, I will personally try to publicly tell on the middle of the VoiceThread when a specific person's responses are considered junk responses. When that occurs, just remember that their responses no longer, if I name that specific response as a junk response, then every single one of their responses to that name, that person, they no longer count towards the limit on whatever they essentially put that response on. So in short, ignore them towards the count. Another specific rule is if 2, then 3. Something you should know is that if there are 2 but not 3 responses to any specific student answer or response, when I check the VoiceThread, you need to know that I will make a third response, effectively ensuring that that very popular student answer or response is no longer able to be given credit to any further students who wish to talk about it. Again, this encourages the whole fluidity idea. And it also gives you foreknowledge of knowing that I will do this so that you can move on to some other topic later on. So this is to help you make sure you don't make a mistake on that. Finally, rule number 4 is that you identify your answer and or response. I want you to explicitly try to do something like this with your student answer. You say effectively, this is my response. Like for example, if I were doing it, I would say this is Carl Peterson's student answer. I would say that on my particular VoiceThread when I contribute to the VoiceThread discussion. That way I know already that that is what you are doing to complete the VoiceThread discussion student answer aspect. In order to identify your own response to something, you will essentially explicitly say either 2 things. One, this is either your own response to another student's answer, if it's a student answer, or this is your own response to a specific person's response. Now you might be wondering what happens on the situation if there are multiple responses from the same person. Well, both to encourage continual fluidity of the discussion, as well as to make it really easy on me and everyone else, I'm always going to assume that that is the most recent response from that person. And again, that serves a purpose. It makes it easy, and it also forces all the students to go to the most recent response of that person, even if they've already had their mindset on one of their earlier comments. And if you do that, you'll get credit for both of those, because then I'll be able to quickly ensure and make sure that you have done the assignment easily and effectively. And I will keep track of all of this. But I need you to be able to identify your answer, or I can't give you credit. Once again, I look forward to doing this course with you, and I wish you well. Have a good day.